Unmute myself there. What's going on, everybody? This is Lamar, and this is TFG Tonight with Lamar Faulk, and I am excited about our show tonight. We have a lot to cover, and we're gonna really dig in tonight. We're gonna really talk about some stuff. There's just a few days left for one of the most important events of our life. Let me get my mic. All right, so I want you guys to take a moment to go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, I want you to go ahead and also hit the notification bell. And if you would also hit the thumbs up. I mean, it's not really any reason not to. So if you go ahead and hit that as well, and we will get on our merry way with this show. All right. Once you come in and say what's up, say hey. I'm going to use the golden mic. So when you come in and say what's up, say hey, and we'll go ahead and get started with this show tonight. Well, we're just gonna chat. We're just gonna chat. There's a lot happening in our world, and we're gonna take a moment to just talk about what's happening in our world. And we have another show on our network called TFG Tonight, and it airs on Mondays. And on Mondays we have this huge panel of people, and there's a lot of debating, a lot of talking, a lot of opinions. But we're going to slow it down just a little bit on Fridays. And on Fridays we're going to chat just a little bit about what's happening in this world with just myself, and I'll have a guest come on later tonight. All right. So let's chat a little bit. 4 days left. What's happening in 4 days? 4 days is the biggest election of our lifetime. In my lifetime, at least. I'm 37. I'm not sure about you. But the absolute biggest election in our life. And one of the themes that I wanted to have for tonight is your vote matters. Because a lot of people think that their vote does not matter. They think that if they vote, whether they vote or not, someone is already deciding who's going to be president. And you know what? That could very well be true, but we don't know for sure. But since we don't know for sure, the easy thing, the better thing for us to do, the solid thing for us to do is to make sure we exercise our right to vote. I would even venture to say that if you don't exercise your right to vote, then you need to shut up. A lot of people might think that's a little harsh, but I think that's absolutely what should happen. There are so many experts on social media, quote unquote experts. Let me grab a drink real quick. We're gonna take our time. Is that okay if we just take our time tonight and chat a little bit? It's just a little water. That's all that is. And again, if you're in here, just say hey, let me know you're here so I can greet you properly. But so again, there's so many experts on social media as it relates to politics and news and what's happening in the world. And we find that many of the people that are quote unquote experts don't even exercise their right to vote. I was so disappointed to find that Shaq, for instance, Shaquille O'Neal, NBA star, stated that this is his first year that he will ever vote. How old is Shaq? I'm not sure how old Shaq is. He's perhaps in his 50s. He's got to be in his 50s. Somebody let me know. I'm guessing Shaq is probably in his 50s, and this is his first time ever voting. And he's pretty vocal. He's not just vocal about sports. He's vocal about social issues. Hey, Shahana, how are you? How are you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, so we're talking about Shaq. Shaq, he stated this is his first year ever voting, and I think that is such a travesty. And there's so many other Shaqs in the world, so many other people that are so vocal about what's going on in our world, socially, politically, and they do not exercise their right to vote. What's going on, Kendrick? Be in and out, chime in. Shaq's 48 years old. They're damn near 50. Damn near 50, and he's not exercising his right to vote. You can't talk. And we do not let that be you. And for those that just came in, again, this is TFG Tonight with Lamar Faulk. Not to be confused with TFG Tonight on Mondays, which is same channel, same network. However, we just slow things down a bit on Fridays now. It's just going to be me chatting with you about some of the big topics in the world. And we're going to take our time. Matter of fact, I'm going to have a drink of water. I'm going to call it water. I have a guest or two on for different segments. So I do have a guest coming on later in about 10, 15 minutes. I'll have a guest come on and we'll chat a little bit as well. But it won't be as action-packed as it is on Mondays. You'll be able to ask questions. We'll be able to really discuss and dive into topics. But I definitely want you guys to remember to go ahead and to subscribe and to like and all that good old stuff. All right. Let me make sure. If I need to remind you that way, let's do it. But I want to get to the election. 4 days away. You having a drink of rum? You know, I've never had rum. I've never had it. I'm gonna have to try rum one of these days. So this election is 4 days away. Now I want to talk about how serious this election is. There are some people that don't understand the severity as relates to this election. It's gonna be some chaos. And when I say it's gonna be some chaos, people are preparing, particularly in Texas. Governor Abbott is already stating he has the National Guard on standby, and he's planning to send the National Guard into the big cities here in Texas. Because not to the polls, they said it won't be at the polls, but he's sending them here. He's expecting there to be chaos in the streets, perhaps. And I think that's a very, very scary thing. Very scary thing. And to prove to you how serious this is where I live. I live in downtown Dallas, right? This is where I live. Look at that. They've already began to board up the entire freaking building. The entire building is boarded. The last time I saw the building boarded up like that, it was when the George Floyd murder. We call it a murder. We call it what it is. The George Floyd murder is when they had this building boarded up like that because people were out and they were protesting, but people were rioting as well. And I know we're not supposed to say that they were rioting, but they were rioting too. They were tearing up stuff, and they just were. You see what Shonda said? I'm looking at. I want to make sure I take a look at these comments and talk with you guys. I'm not ready for this. You know what? Neither am I. Let me take that back. I'm ready for it to come and go. I'm ready to see the results, which we probably won't get for quite some time. But I'm nervous about it at the same time. Not to try to put fear out into the atmosphere, but it's kind of a nerve-wracking ordeal. We do not know what's going to happen. We just don't know. And Shahana in the comments says, we're going to buy more firearms tomorrow for our home. Our neighbors encourage us, which was, you know what? I heard lots of people have said that it'd be a great idea to purchase firearms. That's scary in itself, just thinking that. Is that what we've come to? Is that what it's come to? That we have to have firearms because of an election? Not to mention what's going to happen, how safe or unsafe is it going to be if Trump loses? What is he going to do if he loses? Is he going to accept defeat? He's already made it clear that he's not going to accept defeat. And I read a story and listened to a podcast earlier today. I think it was Van Jones. And he talked, I don't know all the ins and outs, so I don't want to get too deep into it, but he talked about that whole smooth transition of power, if you will, when the president that supposedly lost accepts defeat and concedes and goes on TV and tells everybody, I wish that the better man won, in so many words. The better man won. Let's all rally behind this new president because this is the president for all people, not just one party, right? You know, when they do that, from what I understand, that's not even in the Constitution. It's just and don't quote me on this. I'm just going by what I saw on the podcast. That's just something that they do out of respect But if we all know Donald J. Trump, he has no respect for anybody on either side of the aisle. So we know, and he's already made it very plain, that he's not going to let go of his place in the White House easily. That's a scary thing. Shalana says he couldn't even say it out of his mouth when asked what Pence. He will not go peacefully. As a matter of fact, when does the new president get sworn in? Or when is the inauguration? Is it in January or February? It's next year. Next year, right? So from my understanding is the president, there's no law from my understanding that forces him to leave the White House before then. Someone fact check that. I'm going to have to fact check it later. But someone fact check that. My understanding, there is no law that forces him out of the White House this year. Hey, Chantel, how's it going? So the inauguration is in January. Okay, and according to this podcast, there's no law. Just it's more of a respect thing when that peaceful transfer of power and they leave, they move out. It's more of a respect thing. There's no law, from my understanding, fact check me, that says the president has to go out to leave before the inauguration. How many, by show of hands, thinks that Trump is going to leave the White House? Anytime, to be honest with you. Is he going to leave? Do we think he's going to leave the White House? If he loses, and it's not by a landslide, which I'm hoping it is, Shantae said it. They're going to put your comment up there. He does not have to leave until January. And I guarantee you he is not about to leave this White House anytime before January, if he leaves in January. Not only that, from the podcast I listened to today, and again, I just want to say this because you guys in the comments, you email live. I want you to email live. Van Jones did a podcast, and he said that, again, there's no law that says he has to leave, right? Not only that, he can challenge this in court, and to a point where it goes to the House of Representatives. But when it goes to the House of Representatives, it's not even decided or voted on by the representatives. It's voted on by the delegates of each state. And from my understanding, there's more Republican delegates at this time. So if it's more Republican delegates and he's fighting it all the way to where the House of Representatives has to make the decision, and it's not even up to the representatives, up to the delegates, we could literally find ourselves in a place where we have a Trump fighting the election results for years. I don't know if this is all true, but I'm just telling you, I heard it on the podcast today. I remember that, Shantae, they used to change out the whole White House in one day. I'm just saying, it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens and if he accepts it. But if everyone goes and votes, and everybody always says, everybody vote, everybody go vote, and you vote for whoever, but just vote. Nope. Everybody go vote Democrat for the presidency. Go vote for Biden. I know he's not the best. I know he's not the best candidate. Perhaps not even the best person. Perhaps doesn't even have all his marbles. Perhaps Biden suffers from early onset dementia. Perhaps. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I will say something's wrong. Something's not all the way there. But would I prefer that over a maniac in office that thrives on chaos and anarchy? A narcissist with nothing to lose. That's what we're going to get if he wins. We're going to get a narcissist that has nothing to lose because he's going to be in his second term and he's not worried about getting reelected unless he somehow makes it to where he can change some laws, which you never know. Nothing is too far-fetched at this point. Nothing at all. And for you guys that just came on, I want to show you how serious this is becoming. In Texas, they are preparing for chaos. We are preparing for chaos. This is the building where I live. They did that yesterday. They have boarded up the entire building downtown in the tower in expecting that there's going to be chaos in the streets as a result of this election. That's a scary. What has our world come to? What is going on? Let me look at these comments again. Shante says he doesn't have to leave until the inauguration. In the past, yeah, I've seen that before. He said he can challenge it, but they will drag him out. They don't want chaos to ensue. Only thing about that, we hope that the Republicans are going to have honor enough to follow the American values of a peaceful transfer of power. I'm hoping that they don't try to side with this idiot and trying to stay and fight this, because he still has control of the armed forces. He still has control of the FBI, the CIA. He still has control. So I'm starting to feel like the Senate and the House races are way more important than this presidential race too. I mean, they're just as important, because if he has the Senate, still has power in the Senate, Republican power in the Senate, it's gonna be crazy. All right, Kenny says, why would we think a reality show would do anything according to script? Shauna thinks they both have dementia. You know what? Trump suffers from something, but Biden, I think, definitely has it. But Trump, he's definitely a narcissist. The most extreme case of narcissism. And I'm not a doctor, but I'm not stupid. And if you know what narcissism is, watching him talk, repeating himself over and over, doing this and this, and all this stuff. He likes to hear himself. He likes to hear himself talk. If you notice all that, he's an extreme narcissist. Let's see. I would prefer someone with dementia rather than a sociopath. The National Guard will be deployed for like 5 states. Yep, Texas included. Greg Abbott. I wanted to find a photo of Greg Abbott. Let me see if I found a photo of him. Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, is deploying the National Guard. Now, Shante, from my understanding, he is not deploying them to polls. They're not coming to the polls, from my understanding. My understanding is he is hold on, let me get this photo. My understanding is he's sending them to the city, so perhaps he's coming downtown where I live. Maybe coming downtown. So do I need to not be outside? I'm a little nervous about this. I'm not sure how to act. What are the military going to do? And it sucks for the military because, look, these people are fine human beings, as they say, or perhaps fine human beings. They have to follow the instructions of a sociopath. Okay, here we go. So for those that are outside of Texas, this is the idiot in Texas that is going to be deploying the national. Well, I guess maybe it's for safety's sake. Who knows? Greg Abbott deploying the armed forces, I guess. What we call it. Anyway, so if Trump wins, though, let's say he wins. What happens if he wins? If he wins again, we have a sociopath with nothing to lose, and that's a scary thing. So again, I said all that to say the theme of this is your vote matters. So everyone, please go out to vote. 4 days, go vote. Matter of fact, it takes nothing to vote early. Go if you can vote early. Yes, well, I think it's tomorrow the last day to vote early. I don't know. Depends on where you are, perhaps. I don't know. Anyway, let's go to some polls. How is Biden doing in the polls compared to Trump? Let's look at this. This is a Fox News poll. Fox News, which we know. Oh, you know what? Perfect time. I'm going to bring my guest on to chat about this. I want him to talk with me about this too. So I have a guest every Friday. I will have a guest come on. They won't be on the entire show, but they'll come on halfway through, like he just did once he gets ready in the back room, in the green room, I'll bring him in. But we'll talk about this real quick. So this is a Fox News poll. This Fox News poll says that Biden is in 50. What's going on, sir? How are you?
What's up, man? Doing good, brother. Doing good.
Excellent. Thank you for tuning in and joining me as my guest today on TFG tonight with Lamar Faulk.
Yeah.
So we're just getting into the polls, and I know you're a fan of poll data.
I am.
So let's chat a bit about it.
Even though people don't trust them no more.
People don't trust the polls anymore. Let's look at this data. What does this say? So this poll says that Biden is up by
8 points.
8 points? Mm-hmm. 8 points. What does this mean? Does this mean anything to you?
I think that's which people don't understand. That's a A-rated poster. Fox News is, even though Fox News got a lot of BS on their network. The posters don't really work for Fox News. They use a outsourcing posting company, which is a rated poster company. It just means that nationally Biden went in with a 10 to 11 point lead. We thought that he would end up with an 8-9 point victory in the electorate, and so it's not. I don't think it's wrong. I think it's pretty close. We estimate that Joe Biden's anywhere between 7 to 10 point margin of win for Joe Biden in the election.
Was Hillary up this far at this point in time in the election?
No, she was up by 3 points at this time.
Okay.
So which is in the margin of error, which means that they can go one way or the other. So it can swing 3 points, for her, or it can swing 3 points against her, which it did in the general election. And she lost by 2 point, something like that, 4 points in the general election, 2.1 points.
I talked a little bit before you came on about what if Trump loses? Is he going to concede? Is he required by law to concede? What if he chooses to stay his ass in the White House? What happens in that instance? Do you have any insight on that? Yeah,
man. There's no law to say that you have to concede an election, which is crazy, right? History. It's more of a custom or a tradition, right? That we do in America. It's not a law. So no, he doesn't have to concede at all. He can literally stay in the White House, and literally he can lose the popular vote, lose the electoral college, and still be inaugurated in January.
I mean, you say he can be inaugurated even if he don't win?
Yeah, even if he don't win the electoral college or the popular vote. So it's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and it's this TED Talk that was done by Van Jones that explains it really well. And so I would really encourage people to go look at it. But it explains it really well about we don't see all the the delegate counts in those. That process is pretty much done behind the scenes, and we know that most delegates go with what the constituents say who they voted for. It is no law for that either. If it gets to Congress, that's when you can really see a stealing of the election, which, like I said, man, which is crazy. If he don't have to concede, and I don't think the Republican Party, for all their faults over the last 4 years, and there's been many, right, just enabling this president and everything. I truly don't believe that if the margin is wide enough, we get this 2,000. If we get this 2,000 vote margin where Joe Biden wins by 500 some votes, like George Bush did, 537 votes.
Yeah.
If we get this type of margin, right, then yes, you're going to see it being contested, and Donald Trump is not going to leave White House anytime soon. He's going to take it to the Supreme Court and going to fight it and fight it and fight it. But if Joe Biden wins by a big margin,
then there's nothing you're going to be able to do.
Then there's nothing the Republican, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. And people say they take polls with a grain of salt. So I just want to say we did some polls. TFG did our own polls.
Okay.
And take them with a grain of salt, but this is polls from people that view our show, that view our network, view our channel. And I was curious to see what people thought. I don't know if it's they're Republicans or Democrats or independents as I am, or I consider myself a moderate. But these are some polls I took, and I want your opinion on some of these poll results, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so here we are. Let's check out some of these poll results. Let's see. Here we go. First one. Do you think Joe Biden is a racist? 31%, 156 people voted. 31% says yes, 69% said no. What are your thoughts? Do you think Joe Biden is a racist? Keeping in mind the being best friends with Senator Byrd, who was the grand wizard of the KKK, who later on said that it was a bad decision and denounced it, of course, and who Joe Biden, I think, also spoke at his funeral, perhaps did his eulogy. He was also friends with another gentleman. I can't think of what his name is. That was a racist. Is Joe Biden a racist?
I mean, I don't know if he's a racist, right? You only way you can tell somebody racist is by the things that they do to show you that they are racist. I think that I can say that the Joe Biden been in the public eye for a long time, but he's been in a national spotlight for, here and now going on about 12 years. And what we've seen in the last 12 years is no, Joe Biden is not a racist, right? And so I can only go by what I've been shown since he was vice president, Barack Obama for 8 years, and now I'm running for president now, and the things that he's saying that he's want to do, and him saying Black Lives Matter and Breonna Taylor's name and all this stuff. And no, I mean, from my opinion, no.
I wonder how much was he into helping the blacks before he got chosen? Because let's think about it. He ran against Obama in the primaries, right? In the primaries for president in 2008, was it? In 2008, he ran against Obama, and that was, I think, his second time running for president, or second or third.
Second.
So he ran against Obama. See a lot of ugly things about Obama, of course. That's the nature of the beast, and I don't think he was necessarily chosen by Obama. I think everyone said he needed a statesman on his side to win this thing. He needed, because he was so new. Obama was so new. He needed a Joe Biden who's been in Congress for 3 to 4 decades on his side, and to get the old white man vote as well. Was he pro-black, or not pro-black, but was he doing anything to help black folks, or even speaking out about any of that, I wonder, before he was chosen by the DNC or Democratic Party to be Obama's running mate?
I mean, from what he said he did, they say he said he passed laws to help the black community in the past, which I'm not doubting it at all. The Crown Bill was racist, right? In which he's acknowledged that it was wrong, right?
Clinton was a part of that too, though, right?
Right.
Clinton racist.
They all was a part of that. You think crime was at the time was up, right? And so they're trying to curtail it. It was a racist policy, but at the same time, there was a lot of Democrats a part of that policy. I think there are policies that we can go throughout history, even now, recent history.
Stop and
you
frisk.
Can look at and say,
stop and frisk, is that racist?
I think it's extremely
Who
racist.
instituted that? Was it Giuliani?
Yeah, it was Giuliani, and then it was Bloomberg that continued it. That's extremely racist. Extremely racist policy. I'm not saying Joe Biden is not racist. I mean, I don't know if he's racist. I don't think he's racist. I'm gonna go out and say
Fisk is racist. I think it's okay.
You say what?
I don't necessarily think stop and frisk is racist.
Well, that's crazy.
What's racist about it?
Well, you stopping people based on the color of their skin.
Not really the color of their skin. It's basically like you see a hoodlum. You know a hoodlum when you see a hoodlum. Is that not true?
Again, we are a nation of laws, and to try to stop somebody You know, it's the same thing that you see what's going on in these different other states of people saying, I'm just walking across the street and they asking to see my ID.
A little bit of a little bit of what's the word? What's the word when you see somebody and you what's the term? Not discrimination. A little bit of I can't think of the word.
What word?
When you're judging somebody by how they look.
You're talking about now you got me forgetting the word.
I had too much wine. Whatever it is, y'all know the word. Shantae don't put it up too. A little bit of that is necessary. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's necessary to
Profile.
A little profiling is okay every now and then. You got a profile to be. It makes you smart and safe. You don't think
right? So? No, I think profiling is dangerous when you make a law just based on profiling. And so when you say that, you know, it's okay to look at, it's a different thing to profile and say, I'm gonna watch this individual and just watch and see if he does a crime. But to stop this individual, right? To frisk this individual to make sure that he has nothing on him, that to me is the worst kind of profiling. If I'm watching you and you look like you might be a criminal and you're not committing a criminal act, I have no reason to stop you.
What if data shows that blacks and Latinos do most of the crimes in this particular area? And the Latinos typically got blades on them, and the blacks normally got guns in their pocket.
It don't matter. You can't stop nobody if they ain't doing a crime.
Well,
yeah, go on, put the hoodie on, brother. Put it on. You about to take it off. Take it right on off.
Sean said Trayvon was profiled. Nah, I think that guy was just a high-strung wannabe police officer.
But in a sense, that's what the law was giving police officers the ability to do exactly that, to come and harass somebody that's minding their own business, but because they got a do-rag on and pants sagging, it's okay to then stop this person anytime you want and harass this person by saying, okay, let me see what you got in your pockets. It's like, what?
What's the alternative? Okay, if you were a police officer in New York and most of the crime is being done by blacks and Hispanics in this particular area, the Bronx, let's say, and how would you handle it when you patrol? You know they out there selling dope. You know who it is. So it's not okay to go and frisk or go and stop these folks who you know selling dope.
Yeah, you do good police work. So if I suspect you of selling dope, then I'm gonna sit there and watch you for the next 25. There's no law against that. You can do that. You can watch somebody and surveil them and see what they're doing. And then you say, I'm suspecting this person of selling dope. Let's watch them a couple of more days. That's what you do. You know what I mean? Or you catch somebody in the act. But you can't just walk up to somebody that's leaving a donut place and start stopping them and frisking them because you just suspect them of being a criminal just by the way they look. It's racist.
You know what? I give it to you. All right, I give you that. All right. All right, let's see. Here we go. Let's do another one of these polls.
All right, cool.
Which president has done more for the blacks? This poll, 143 people voted.
Can you stop saying the blacks? Please.
Everybody said, almost half says Barack Obama, which I'm not sure how they got to that conclusion. Abraham Lincoln, number two second. Then Clinton, Trump, then Lyndon B. Johnson.
Okay, so let's start off with the least of those options, Donald Trump, right? And I want to say this lie that Donald Trump tells everybody that he's done more for the black community is nothing but it's such an offensive lie, right? I mean, he tells a lot of lies, right? I think over his administration, he told over 20,000 lies, which is unheard of, right? That's the most lies told by any politician in history.
It's crazy that somebody's even keeping up with that data.
Well, they do it for every president, right? He ain't the only president they keep. They do it for every single president. They do it for a lot of politicians. But they suspected that he might tell up to 20,000 lies, at the end of his first term. Mm-hmm. But he did it earlier this year. He broke it, at the beginning of this year.
And he does it. He does so many in one conversation.
Yeah.
And he repeats himself. So I guess that counts even more. So I think he's a known liar, fabricator. Right. He's a narcissist.
But what's so funny is, people believe these things. So you have 10%. And if you can put the poll back up, I don't know how many people voted, but you had 10% of those people believe Donald Trump, really, what's that? You got 14 people or so believe that Donald Trump truly has done more for black people than these other presidents up here. And that's an issue because and I'm pretty sure, our poll is probably majority African American. So,
well, I don't know who y'all are out there watching.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know who the poll is. But I'm just telling you, I talked to a white person just this past week, and he was saying the same thing, that he believed that. Why would Donald Trump keep saying it if it isn't true? And so that's an issue. I would say that when Donald Trump says stuff like "I've done more for black people than Lyndon B. Johnson," are you talking the Civil Rights Act, the Voter Rights Act? Are you serious? That is a slap in the face because you continue some programs for HBCUs. So you continue some programs that were started by George W. Bush and continued by Barack Obama.
Would a racist continue that?
Yeah. This is the thing about politics, and we know this. Politicians know that they do stuff so they can get more votes. And so, yeah, absolutely.
You missed
absolutely.
This. I'm sorry, you missed this earlier.
What's that mean?
I'm not gonna say that.
I'm not getting in with you with this. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not online.
All right.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
All right. I'm sorry. So you're talking about the HBCU continuance of funding that Obama chose to not make it permanent, basically, the funding that they receive for HBCUs. And Trump has elected to make it permanent, while I know that the head of Dillard University is stating that even though it's permanent, they still have to look at it again every 2 years. I don't know how true that is, to be honest with you.
Every 10 years.
Every 10 years, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know how true that statement is. And then he mentioned that it was only $85 million. That ain't what I saw. I saw that it was more than that, actually.
What you see?
I got it right here. I can't pull it up on the screen. But look, I got my... Let me see where it is at.
Did I come back up here?
It was about $200-some million or something like that.
Well, was it for that program or was it because they did
just the overall funding for HBCUs, which included various things within that one package? It wasn't. Okay. It was various things, some for the masters and bachelors and different programs within one. Shantae says a North State president because he can take credit for it. And by the way, there are more HBCUs than Howard. Yeah, but he did it. The Dillard. There's a lot of HBCUs that are a part of it.
Yeah, it's for all the HBCUs.
My thing is we gotta give credit where credit due. He could have very easily said, "These niggers don't need nothing."
But what would that make him look like, right? So again, it's all about optics, right? We got a president right now who hasn't done anything for healthcare, right? And now trying to sign into executive orders about bringing down drug prices during the election season. It's all about optics.
$35 million increase in the Strengthening Historically Black Colleges and Universities program, which ends up being $279 million. It says a $9 million increase in the Strengthening Historically Black Graduate Institutions, making it $72 million. A $1 million increase in the Strengthening HBCU Master's programs, that makes it 8.6.
Wait, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Are these new? Are these things that was already there and these things that were already there?
He increased them and continued them.
Yeah. So
made it
so
permanent.
so no, like they said, these fundings, they're gonna have to go back up and ask for money in 10 years. And so the thing, this is the thing, increasing something, he hasn't done anything new, right? He doing what other presidents have done before him. He just continuing the stuff and then raising it up.
That's good, right?
That's right. That's good. That's good. But nobody, that don't make him not racist.
Okay. But it makes him doing something or continuing something for the black folks, right? Is that not true?
Well, but guess what it also does? You can look at it. You can look at the multitude of policies that he's tried to do
Mm-hmm.
to say, look, you making it worse. Like the 1619 project, which was a curriculum that we're going to teach kids in school about slavery and redefining, reteaching American history. And what they try to do, they try to block it, right? He think it's poison. He think it's going to create uh, uh, issues in the school district by learning the truth. You know, and these are issues. Stopping people from corporations from for doing. Having this what do you call those trainings? Those
Bias, diversity, right?
diversity trainings. These ending the school to pipeline prison uh, investigation that the Obama administration started. All these things, just these are racist policies, in my opinion. And to say, okay, I'm giving some money to HBCUs. Well, Obama gave money to HBCUs. Bill Clinton, George W. Bush. This is not nothing new that people helping fund HBCUs and continuing the programs that have already started.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's look at the next one. Should the Democrats stack the courts? 180 people voted. 81% said yes. 19% said no. I say yes because, and I'll qualify. I say yes because I feel like whoever's in power should take advantage of that power they have and do the things that they want to do if it's truly their agenda. I hate that they have to play politics so much. I feel like the Democrats should have really worked hard to get the dude. What's his I forgot his name.
Merrick Garland.
Merrick. Yeah. Get him nominated and confirmed. They should have worked there, but you had power. You had the power to some degree. Maybe they didn't have enough power at the time. So I don't see any problem with the. I don't see any problem with it.
Well, they couldn't get him because
see
they had the Senate.
It sucks when you don't have the power. See, when you have the power, you do what you're supposed to do. Only problem is Democrats don't fight like Republicans fight. Republicans want to win. Democrats want to look good and try to. They're looking at what can we say to get make sure we keep our votes and make sure we keep this and make sure. Republicans want to win at every turn, and they end up winning, in my opinion, because they got this person on the Supreme Court.
Well, I just think that they were. It looks like that on the outside, but that's not really true.
Of course,
it looked like that on the outside. Unfortunately, you look at President Obama. How many Supreme Court justices did he get? Got 2, right? He was going to get 3, but it was blocked. Mm-hmm. It had 8 terms.
None of them black women, unfortunately.
Right. In 8 years, in his whole 2 terms, he only got
black woman.
In his whole term, he only got 3. And you got Donald Trump got 3 in his first term. And so it's just kind of how the ball rolls. It's unfair.
It's RBG's. Shante just said it. We're thinking the same thing. It's Ruth Bader Ginsburg's fault. God rest her soul. She should have retired. But no, she want to hold on at 98 years old, how old she was, and keep on sitting on the bench, barely able to function.
Well, so I go back and forth with the whole packing the court. I think the court need to be reformed, right? I think there's need to be maybe term limits, or
definitely term limits.
Right, there need to be maybe a rotation where each president gets 3 nominations to the Supreme Court. In their term, whatever. I think that there needs to be some type of reform to the court, because it's just this. To say that it's not partisan, it's not true. We see these partisan courts even during in the states. So the Supreme Court is also, in my opinion, now even more partisan. So I go back and forth with packing the court because I know if we pack the court, guess what's going to happen? The Republicans are going to pack the court. Then you're going to end up with 24 justices in 8 years.
So you pack the court and then you make a law, or you redo the Constitution, amend the Constitution to make it to where it can't be packed no more.
Yeah, I don't know.
People too married to this Constitution that wasn't made for black folk.
Well, then you got this issue of you're not gonna make pass laws like that because they're gonna take it to the Supreme Court. It's probably gonna get knocked down anyway.
Absolutely.
Is it constitutional to? It's not constitutional to not be able to pack the court because it's not in the Constitution that you can't pack it. So who knows how they would read that in the Supreme Court. If they try to, because if Democrats pack the court, they make a law that said you can't pack the court. That's going to get striking down real fast.
Let's look at this one. Was Ice Cube wrong for meeting with Trump or his people? 60% said no, 38% said yes, 136 votes.
I'm not gonna say he was wrong. I just think that, first of all, to me, it don't really make a lot of sense, right?
What, him meeting with him?
Yeah, well, right now, right? We're in the middle of it. If he would have met with him 2 years ago, it'd be different, right? We're in the middle of an election season, right? Nothing's going to get anything that you meet with. You got to go through, whatever you meet and want Donald Trump to pass. You got to go through a broken system in the House and the Senate. I think that it'd been smarter to just meet with the new administration, whether it's Joe Biden's.
I think his goal was he know Trump is trying to get as many votes as he can from the blacks, particularly. Mm-hmm. So, which, from my understanding, he's getting 11 to 17% or something. One of those numbers of the black vote right now. 11% of the black vote right now.
Yeah, 10 to 11% is what he's going to probably end up getting. He's not going to get no 17% of the black vote. No, sir.
11% is a lot. Which is isn't that up?
Well, he got 8% last time. I think he'll get 10%.
More. You know what? That's because there's more black conservatives being bold enough to come out now. But I need to hear that. Okay, so I think that right now he felt like, whether it's true or not, he felt like, and I see the point of view that right now Trump wants something. He's a deal maker.
Which he's not.
Right? So he's a deal maker. So right now there seems to be some modicum of leverage, more than what you would have once he's reelected and he has nothing to lose. He's in there for 4 years, no matter what. So I think that Ice Cube and his team felt like they had some modicum of leverage, and I can see that, even if it's wrong. I feel like
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that the optics of dealing with somebody that most black people feel that is racist towards them, especially at the end of this person's first term, that might not even get elected. I don't know if I would put that on my plate.
Well, see,
my career.
See, I don't buy into the whole racist thing. I just think he's a butthole. I just think he is a whole. I
used to think that. He's
a whole person to everybody that he feels like everybody's beneath him, and he's a narcissist. I
used to think that until, like I said, the 1619 Project. Don't want to teach slavery. Don't want to teach real history in school. Stopping Obama's prisoner pipeline. All the other multitude of things that he's done. You would say that, but then it seems that the opposite, right? Talking about suburban women, saying they need to be protected because they're going to turn your suburban into low-income housing. You know who he's talking about.
I mean, but you don't agree with that?
No.
You okay with suburbia being turned into low-income housing?
Did you see that being proposed by anybody? It's so funny. He makes these. It's out of fear. He's trying to do this stuff out of fear, and fortunately, people, suburban, especially suburban women, are not taking a bait at all. They're saying this seems extremely racist, so they're not taking a bait. They're leaving them in droves.
Interesting. Let's look at the next one here. Let me see. All right. Sean Diddy Combs launched a political party called Our Black Party. Would you affiliate yourself with it? 115 people voted. I'm black and yes, so 26% said that. 64% overwhelmingly said I'm black and no. Nobody said I'm not black and yes, and then someone said I'm not black and no. 10% said that.
No, I'm telling you right now, no, I wouldn't do it. I'm black.
Why is that?
Well,
for the black cause? Is that what it is?
Right. Well, no, it's not that. I just think a political party that is supposed to be for the United States of America, only looking after a portion of the population, 13% of that it seems
13 is foolish. It's stupid.
It's crazy.
It means you're an idiot. When you propose that, it means you're an idiot.
It means that it's a publicity stunt. That's
it
what it sounds like to me.
Publicity stunt, and you sir are worth $800 million, and you're a stupid idiot.
Yeah.
We're what? You said 13% of the population black folks.
Yeah, 13% of the population.
You think that you can create a political party only for that? Really?
That demographic, right?
Win anything? You think you'll win anything? All you do is screw up some elections for Democrats in the future.
That's right. That's what's going to end up happening. If you end up getting 10-15% of the vote, that could be detrimental to the Democratic Party. Just
you take all black votes from the Democrats. You take a big majority. And he's serious about it. He made a website. He got a whole team of intellectuals that are stupid intellectuals. They serious about this thing too.
Yeah, I think it's divisive. I think it's going to be looked at as divisive. Yeah. And I think that we got to be a part. We in the 60s we ended segregation, and that was a crowning achievement. And this seems as though who are you going to what are you going to tell the other demographics? How are you going to propose that you're gonna for the 80, the 87% of everybody else,
that you want to treat us fairly, but yet you tell them this is just you can't be a part of this. Is for blacks. And matter of fact, we want you to vote for the black.
That's right. How are you going to get these people involved into what you're doing? And what is going to end up happening is, you know how I feel about the Republican Party. I do.
You love them a lot.
Well, I feel like they're starting to become more and more racist. Not more racist than they than before. But I do got a bone to pick with Joe Biden. When Joe Biden said that.
Oh, here it is.
When Joe Biden said that President Trump is the nation's first racist president, what is he talking about?
He's an idiot too. He's got dementia.
What is he talking about? That made absolutely no sense.
Who was before Lyndon B. Johnson? Right or after? Which one was that after Lyndon B. Johnson?
After that? Oh,
right after LB.
Nixon.
Not LBJ. I'm sorry. Who was the one that
Nixon.
I'm thinking the wrong person. Who was the fourth? Let me see. Presidents. Let me look. You
got Reagan. You got Nixon. You got Woodrow Wilson.
Way back after Lincoln, right? Who was after Lincoln and all? I don't know why I said LBJ.
Who? Woodrow Wilson.
One of them was great. One of them did something for black folk, and then the one right after it kind of went back on Reconstruction. Who was the president during Reconstruction?
Oh, you talking about after Abraham Lincoln?
Yeah.
I can't think of his name, but yeah, he was a statement. It was just a stupid statement.
Slave owners.
Yeah, it was a stupid statement. You talking about presidents that own slaves? George Washington had hundreds of slaves. Come on now, come on. That was a stupid statement.
I got so much more I want to talk about. This hour went by way faster than what I thought it would. We got 7 minutes left. I just want to wind down. I got so much. It went by so fast. I thought I was going to do this in 30 minutes, and it's been an hour and I ain't done. I got a whole lot more on my list here, but
on your plate. Well, just name something real quick.
We're going to talk about the Platinum Plan and Lil Wayne and all that, but I just want to say this. I just want to say that Biden, while I voted for him and I voted early, the day he takes office after Trump finally leaves, if it's next year after that, the race starts, meaning the fire is going to be under his ass at that point, because I'm gonna make it my business, and I think a lot of other black folks are going to make it their business to hold him accountable, because I think a standard needs to start being set starting now for what we want, what we need, and you need to listen. And then the thing I like that Diddy is saying, you can't take our votes for granted. And I think we have to start putting our foot down as it relates to that. Unfortunately, you got to start with a almost 80-year-old guy that has dementia. That may give him a heart attack. I don't know. Fortunately, it has to start with you. But
quit saying he got dementia. He do not have
Trump,
dementia.
Trump fault. So
he don't have dementia.
It's not going to be easy for him, and I don't know if he's going to be able to withstand the pressure.
Well, I'm gonna put it like this, and we know that it's going to be extremely hard. His first year in office is going to be extremely challenging because of the coronavirus, right?
Yep. Trying
to get the nation back to work, trying to get a handle on the disease. I would say the year and a half is going to be hard. I think that's going to be the primary and most pressing concern, right?
Yeah.
Is to get America back to running, back to moving.
It's a tough balance.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to see how, he tried to balance this thing. It really
ain't no right way, in my opinion.
And I don't think it's gonna. I think one thing that you can do for Black people, Black Americans, is get the virus under control.
And with doing that, it's still touchy because in doing that, you're risking the stock market plummeting and businesses, people went out of business. So you got to think about balancing and trying to minimize that risk while also doing the right thing and shutting down so this thing can kind of go away. That's right. It's going to be interesting.
And listen, I don't know if he's going to shut down. I don't think he's going to shut down, honestly. I think he's going to make some type of laws for masks and make more stringent rules about, when we go places, it can only be so many people in certain areas. I think those are going to be what people are going to be upset about, but I think it's going to be necessary. I think, trying to. One thing that we know about Donald Trump that me and you will agree on is that Donald Trump has no plan for anything, right?
Zero.
He is literally the worst president to really be over this pandemic. I mean, the first pandemic since 1819, right? And
this kind of president he is. He's
1918. I'm sorry.
He's the kind of president that goes and gets a group of people around that may know something, and they do this. All right, Mr. President, pick a hand, and you pick this one. All right, this is what you do about this. All right, right about this, about borders. We pick a hand. All right, he don't know nothing. He don't know nothing about.
And also you have all these people around him that say, okay, let's do this, and he don't listen. Right. And so the healthcare is an issue, right? You taking it to the Supreme Court. If the Supreme Court strikes that down, he has no plan. He keeps saying that he has a plan.
I don't see him doing it.
We have no plan.
I don't think they'll do it. Even the new lady, I don't see them. They're not that stupid. They have some type of values. What would it say about you if you strike down something and there's no replacement? He literally, on the interview on 60 Minutes, she asked him over and over, do you have a replacement? And he was like, oh, we got it. We got it. We're working on it. We're working on it. She said, I thought you said you had it. We do have it. We got it. I've released several pieces of it, big pieces of it, great pieces of it. And she said, but is it done? Oh, yeah, it's done. But you say you just released
working on it. You say you're working on it.
Working on it. Wait, listen. We're working on it. It's okay. So it'd be asinine for any Supreme Court or anybody to strike this down. It would be dangerous to everybody if they did that. They can't do that. I just can't fathom that they would do that.
And the reason why it's so hard to get rid of this Affordable Care Act is that it's pretty conservative. Like if you read, it's really a conservative health plan.
Except the Medicaid expansion.
That's right. And so you try to do something else that is not conservative. It's gonna be more. Whatever you do is gonna be more liberal.
And that's the problem. The reason it's taking so long is because every option that he has,
he got taken away stuff.
It's already there. It's already.
That's right.
That healthcare plan, I read up on it, and I've listened to all these different talks about it. It's all encompassing.
Yeah. If you pull out one thing, you turn down to everything else. It is hard to do that. And so he don't. that's why this lie that we're gonna repeal and replace is a lie, because if you replace it, you got to replace it with something more that I believe is gonna be more socialist than anything, right?
It has to be, because there's no other way to go with it.
Yeah.
No other way to go. The mandate is no longer there. They don't have the individual mandate anymore, right? I think they.
No, that's that was taken out. But the whole thing about drug prices and all that junk, man. He's fighting a losing battle. So
is absolutely right. The ACA is actually most of the plan. The Republicans, absolutely. Obama wants a single pay, absolutely. And you can't. And guess what? You can't have a law passed without some feet. It's a little bit from both sides. Come on now.
Well, they try to make it as conservative as possible so it can try to get passed, even though it really didn't get passed with no Republican support at all. It was just an opposition to Barack Obama is the reason why. But a lot of them helped with the bill in the beginning.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
who was that initially? I forgot whose it was.
It was Joe Biden's.
Somebody on the. I mean, there was a Republican that had one too.
I'm joking. Right. Yeah.
I don't know what. Biden.
What else you got before we get off this thing? You got one more thing? You good?
Let me look at Let me see here. I don't want to do this because we'll be on here forever. Next time we're gonna talk about. Next time we're on, we're gonna talk about.
Did you vote? 69% this time.
Other people voted.
I don't think they understand what a flat tax is.
And then there's opportunities on. They think it's bad, which I think is stupid. But okay, and that's all. That's the show, man. It's an hour. God dog it. It'll go by so fast. You got to come on again, my brother.
Yeah, man.
So we do this again. I like this.
Next time we talk, I would love to talk about DC statehood and Puerto Rico statehood becoming the 51st and 52nd states in America.
Interesting. I think that'd be a great idea, actually.
Yeah.
Are we getting tax dollars from them already? Or no?
Yeah, taxation without representation. That's on Washington's back of their license plate.
That's crazy. Vote or shut up. Don't boo. Vote. 4 days left until the election, I believe. Everyone go out and vote. Thank you.
Real quick. You got a prediction?
Biden's gonna win. I feel like he's gonna win it, and I think it's gonna be a landslide. To be honest with you, I really think it is. I'm hoping for that. I think it's gonna be. So many people are disgruntled and want something new, and so people in those. I think the polls are not really reflecting how big of a lead Biden really has, because I think some people don't want to fess up to the fact they're gonna vote against their party. So I really think that. So yeah. What you got? What's your prediction?
I think Joe Biden's gonna win. I believe the polls this time around. I think Donald Trump's doing everything he can to make a play, but it's 11 toss-up states, and he's only leading in 2. So
it's game over.
He got over. It's gonna be tough.
I need to go ahead and have it because I'm sick of listening to them on TV. I'm sick of listening to Kamala on TV. And that laugh is driving me nuts. I'm like,
well, if she win, you're gonna hear it for 4 years.
I'm like, but I'm sick of listening to it now because I feel like you're don't mess it up. Stop talking. Stop this dang laugh. Every time somebody asks her something, she start cackling, and I'm like, will you shut up? And
she's just trying to tell you how stupid it is.
Be serious like you are when you grilling these folks in the Senate.
Boy, she grilled.
That's the Kamala I want to see. I don't want to see this laughing Kamala. Let's keep talking about what she cooked and she listened to hip hop. She said that in an interview. She said, what do people want? Somebody asked her, so are you going to be the type of vice president? Because you went against pretty much most of the stuff that Biden stands for, and y'all have different views on things. So are you going to be pushing? You're the most liberal. You were named the most liberal senator in the Senate. Are you going to push those agendas onto Biden? Or are you going to go to him and try to get him? And she said, as I said, I'm Kamala. He's Joe. Joe brought me in for this, and this. I'm Kamala. I'm an Indian, black. I'm an African American Indian, or whatever she said.
Listen.
And I cook and I listen to hip hop. I said, what? I can't do anything.
Yo, you know what though? It's just we so used to Donald Trump saying whatever he want to say. That's real politics. They fake is just trying to get. Yeah. It's a lot.
So we got to go back to the BS politics now, I guess. All right. I'm ready for it. I prefer it over Trump, though.
You ain't lying.
But thank you, bro. Thank you, guys.
All right, man.
And please go down here and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Doing that notifies you when we're back on.
I'm doing it right now.
Every Friday, right on. Every Friday, we'll be on this thing, talking for an hour. I want to have different guests popping in and out. It's going to be great. We're going to really dig into politics and what's really happening. And we thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, peace out.
It's gonna be interesting on Tuesday.
Which president did this?
McCain,
and was it?
Well, no, he wasn't president. He did this.
Was it Nixon or somebody did this?
Nixon.
Oh, Nixon did.
Yeah.
All right, later. Peace out, y'all.